We have one more speaker. Her name is Dana. She's new to our everything, but it's great to have her on board. So Dr. Dana Ellis Hunnes has been practicing dietitian at UCLA Medical Center for 11 years. She is also a professor in the UCLA School of Public Health, where she earned her PhD. She writes and advocates about the role of our dietary choices in sustainability, climate change, and personal health. More recently, she has combined her scholarly research on climate change with the issues of animal welfare, wildlife, and conservation of endangered species. She has a new book, an ebook out entitled Equal Opportunity Conservationist, where she advocates for wildlife empathy, plant-based diets, and environmentally sustainable behaviors, and as a frequent contributor to the Huffington Post and Self magazine. Dana lives in Los Angeles with her husband and son and her lab. She is an avid cycler and swimmer, and she is also a vegan. Thank you, Dana.
Hi, thank you all for having me here today. It's quite an honor, and I'm passionate about talking about these things, although I don't know if going last is good or bad. So anyway, so before I begin, I would like to take a quick moment of silence for all the animals that have lost their lives because of humans. And now I'd like to quote Margaret Mead. "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." And obviously that's what we are here today, a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens. So as Ellen said, I'm a dietitian. I advocate for plant-based diets, minimizing, if not completely eliminating, all animal products, because it's just good for the environment, it's good for us, and it's good for the animals, obviously. As everyone else has already said today, it significantly reduces our carbon footprint, it significantly reduces climate change, and as we all know already, that animal agriculture is responsible for more carbon than the entire transportation sector. I know that was already said today. Land use change is a big factor with animal agriculture. Cutting trees in the Amazon, other rainforests is a huge problem. As you were talking about the orangutans and their conflict, palm oil, and they suffer. All animals are suffering, and we are suffering from eating animals. We know that animal agriculture also pollutes the oceans, and it's unfortunately not talked about often enough how much pollution goes into our oceans from plastic. And I know it was recommended to not use any single-use plastic products today, but take a look around you and just be mindful of how much plastic we use in our lives. And by the year 2048, there will be more plastic in our oceans than fish. We are overfishing our oceans. Nearly a third of fish stocks globally are overfished. Nearly 60% are fully fished, meaning you can't take out any more. And a mere 10% of fish are underfished. Now, I wrote an article not too long ago in Huffington Post saying all of this. The fisheries got word of it, and they emailed me a bunch of really nasty emails, and it goes to show you just how powerful these companies are. So with that said, we really need to be mindful, and I know I'm talking to a group of like-minded people, so we all know the benefits of not eating fish or animals, but we need to continue advocating and educating others. And again, with the plastic, plastic gets in the oceans, it becomes microplastics, fish eat it moves up the food chain to the larger animals and eventually to humans who eat it. And not only that, a lot of plastic in fishing nets can kill animals in the ocean by suffocating them and unfortunately drowning a lot of them. It can be dolphins, it can be other marine mammals, it can be birds, it can be any kind of animal really. So I talked about overfishing. Other people have already talked about elephants. We know, unfortunately, almost 100 are killed every day for a big tooth that people like to put on their wall or wherever, and it is grotesque, and it is just horrific. It's disgraceful, disgusting, immoral. Same with the rhinos. You know, if you really want that substance, bite your own fingernails. Manta rays for their gill plates, and bushmeat. It's one of the largest illegal trades in the world. Not only that, but there's a lot of habitat encroachment, human conflict. So when human population grows, we take over the lands that belong to animals, and the animals, again, are the ones who pay the price. Now, maybe a few things you guys didn't know. A recent article came out saying that in Mexico, avocado trees are displacing and actually causing problems among the monarch butterflies. And so monarch butterflies are also now at risk of extinction. And the Zika virus. This is a topic. About 2 million or so bees were recently murdered in North Carolina because they sprayed a toxic chemical to get rid of the mosquitoes. So the only thing I can really say about this, other than what we're doing, is just criminal. And even as I speak right now in Taiji, Japan, there are a bunch of dolphins in a cove, about 30 of them, just awaiting their fate. And it tears me up every time I learn about it. But the thing we can do as people, other than driving less, you know, using less carbon dioxide, is not eating meat and not eating animal products. So it's good for our health. We know that. As a dietitian, I tell that to people all the time. It's good for the planet's health, and it's of course good for the animals. So a couple final thoughts. If we can find the right point of entry, we can enable positive change among people. And as Jane Goodall likes to say, there's still a lot left worth fighting for. Thank you.